Hi guys, my name is Rose and welcome to Balling on a Budget. Thank you guys for tuning in. Today we are looking at budgeting. So I know if I was, to ask the congregation, who in here budgets, we probably have loads of hands going up. I think it's one of the first things we learn when we first start getting a little bit of money. But if I'm sure if I ask the same congregation, hey guys, who actually sticks to their budget? I definitely see a lot less hands. I might see some side-eye shuffling, just looking to the floor, just looking around, and not even gonna lie, about 70% of the time, that is me. Like, you start the month with the best of intentions. You have your budget, you know how much you're gonna spend, you know where your bills go, and it's like, yes, great, good, I'm with it, I am here. And then, payday hits, and 2 weeks later, you're like, yeah, so how many more days can I eat Indomie? Like, it's really easy to run away with you. That's why this video is not going to be talking about budgeting. It's what to do once you have your budget. So here it goes, 5 top tips of how to actually stick to your budget. So tip number 1, pay with cash. It's really simple and really easy, but super effective. I've been doing this for the last month and it has saved me so much. So you can either pay with cash or use a prepaid debit card. I like to use Monzo. Monzo is the plug. I'll leave you guys a link in the description bar below. But essentially here, if you only have the amount of money that you are budgeted to spend that day, secret is you can't go over budget. Amazing. I am a victim of treat yourself disease, and when you only have £10 in your pocket or whatever is the designated budget for that day, when you've got food to pay for, you've got travel to pay for, best believe I will not be buying that Zara top. So tip number 2, plan all your social events way in advance. This allows you to pick what you want off the menu and budget what you can afford before you even get there. Social trips are one of those things which I think are really easy to get out of hand, because you can very much, just go for a coffee or like go for a spontaneous dinner, and that's, 20-30 pounds out of your budget that you didn't expect. So pro tip, always put 2 to 3 dummy events with a budget, so that when you do have those spontaneous meetups with friends, you're covered. So tip number 3, if you have no money, leave the cards at home. This is something I cannot stress enough. If you want to go out and you have no money, find a way to go out for free. Leave your credit cards at home and don't make that mistake. There's very few things which are worth, compromising your financial stability for. Just don't do it. Just don't. It's not worth it. So tip number 4, this one might be a little bit controversial, but I would switch off the contactless on your mobile phone. Now hear me out. There is actually some real psychology to this. So basically, when you pay with cash, there is almost a physical pain that comes with handing over that cash. Therefore, we think through the process more before we part with our money. That effect is reduced when you use a debit or credit card, and is even further reduced when you use contactless, because it takes out that time between you wanting and you handing over that cash. I can't tell you how many times I'd just be like, oh, I'll walk someone, to Starbucks or something, and I'll just be waiting for them to get a drink. And then somehow, my weak wrist has just, draped across the card reader, and I suddenly have, a venti frappuccino. Like, how did it happen? Like, I don't know. It's juju. I don't even know. So tip number 5. Write everything down. Write that down. Write that ish down. Write it all, everything from top to bottom. Make sure every single expense that you make in a day is written down on your budget and categorized. No single expense should appear on your credit card or debit card statement and not be in your budget with a related expense category. This is one of the most important things to make sure you stick to your budget, because it gives you a running total of any transaction you make at any time, so you know exactly where your money is at. There's so many apps which can help you with this if this is an issue for you, but literally being able to see on a daily basis exactly to the penny how much I budgeted for, how much per category I've gone over or within or have left, has been one of the most useful and practical tips I can give you to making sure that you stick to your budget. Because I think a lot of us, we can have a budget, but then we don't always attribute back and hold ourselves accountable to those expenses. And writing all the things that you spend down and attributing them to a category in your budget is a way of just making sure that you stick to exactly what you said. So there you go, guys. Those are my top 5 tips for sticking to your budget. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you liked it, it really means a lot if you could just give it a quick thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.